Hello, 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 whoever you are around the world. Hello, I am Dr. Z, and you are welcome to a cup of tea, a cup of tea with Dr. Z. Today is the second episode in this amazing feat that I just started, and it's about talking to everyday women all over the world who have extraordinary stories. Now, the reason why I've decided to do this is that there are so many people all over the world who kind of maybe they don't feel listened, or they don't feel heard, or they feel that everyone else is a superwoman and not them. And I want you to know that you might be an everyday woman just like I am, but you have an extraordinary story. And I'm hoping that when you listen to the various episodes week by week from various women from all over the world, that you will hear their various stories from a snapshot of their lives. And you too will know that you have a story to share. And who knows, you might be on this platform as an everyday woman sharing your extraordinary story. Now, just for those of you that don't know me, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm known as the Reinvention Queen, but it's not about me. I've been doing this since 2012, coaching women, leaders through divorce, through transition, through all sorts of trauma, but also empowering leaders to be the best leaders they can be, whether in the workplace, whether, in their homes, in their businesses, so that they can improve productivity, performance, and profit. But like I said, it's not about me. Now, I have the amazing honor to introduce to you my next special guest. Last week, episode 1, we had the phenomenal Lisa Marie Flynn, and today we have another phenomenal, extraordinary woman, everyday woman with an extraordinary story called Tayo Oyinola. And I'm just going to read a little bit about her, and then I'm going to introduce her to you. So just give me a second while I bring this up. Hope you are as excited as I am. I am really, really pumped up because it's such a pleasure, an honor, a privilege to be in your room, wherever it is you are around the world, whether you're here in the UK or perhaps you're in Africa somewhere, you're in India, you're in America. I mean, I've put the time 7 p.m. UK or 2 p.m. Eastern American time. So hopefully that would work for you wherever you are. Now, let me read a little bit about this amazing, phenomenal, everyday woman called Tayo Oyinola. Tayo is a strategic finance leader, mentor, and a coach with a proven track record of delivering results within the FTSE 100 and Fortune 500 organizations. She is an effective communicator, and you will see that, with many years' experience of influencing decision makers at all levels of an organization, including motivating others to peak performance. We talked about that just now, in high pressure environments. Tayo is a business value creator with strong organizational and leadership skills, a proud recipient of various recognition awards for her outstanding contribution to organizational performance, and an MBA with distinction. She's also a non-executive director for the Edinburgh Napier University, and she's a member of so many other leadership forums. Her passion for coaching and mentoring has been recognized on so many fronts. But above all, she's just like you and me, an extraordinary, everyday woman doing extraordinary things. So please join me to welcome the phenomenal, my special guest, the amazing Tayo Oyinola. Hello!
Hi, thank you very much, Dr. Z. I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are truly an everyday woman and truly doing extraordinary things around the world. And it's such a pleasure and honor to have you on the platform with
And it's an
me.
honor to be here with you, Dr.
Thank
Z.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, just before we start, what tea would you like?
Oh, mine would be lemon and ginger tea would be perfect. Thank you.
Oh, you are in luck. You are in
You.
luck. You are
Perfect.
in luck. You know, you're in, I mean, I was gonna have Earl Grey, but okay, I'll change it because of you. Just give me a second. Let's brew.
Thank you. We don't do Earl Grey
You
because
don't
Earl Grey makes your hair go grey. Don't tell them
but
I
mine's
said
blonde.
that.
So I hope you don't mind tea bags. I would have
I love
brewed.
my tea being strong, so if you can put the tea bag in there, that would be perfect, darling.
Okay, doing that. Let's see.
So
Do you
you're gonna
like that? Is that a
put
nice
yourself
color?
this. Yeah. Yes, perfect.
Fantastic. Right. Okay. Let me pour some for you, so at least you're hydrated while you're speaking. All right.
Oopsie.
Move towards me. Yes. Right towards the door. That's right. Yes. Excellent. Ooh. Oh, good.
Oops, thank you very much.
Right.
Appreciate that.
I
And
hope it's
just
not
try
too
to
hot.
not.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. 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 Right. Now, Tayo, you are an everyday woman. Why do you call yourself an everyday woman?
I'm an everyday woman because one of the things I like to do is I like to go to the gym every morning, not just work out, which I know a lot of women do as well. And I think if you strip back all the accolades and everything else, I'm just
Mm.
like every other woman. I have my emotions. I have good days. I have bad days. I have days I laugh. I have days I want to just cry. But above all, I have days where I just feel that I am unique in myself and I embrace who I am. So I guess that's what we all go through, had the hormones and everything else that happens. But at the end of it all, we learn to just go through things and just realize that those things that happen to us do not make who we are.
I thank you for saying that. That is so true. You know, and I don't know an everyday woman wherever you are. You might be listening to this. Maybe you're in your kitchen. Maybe you're doing homework with your child. Perhaps you're sitting on the floor crying your eyes out because you've got so many bills and you don't know where to start from, and you see all these women, myself and other women, and you think, oh, it's all great for them. No, it's exactly the same. We have the same bills, the same issues, maybe in different ways. But there are days where, like Tayo has said, you be in bed, you don't want to get out of bed, you have down moments, you bawl, like my Jamaican friends will say, you bawl and bawl and bawl. You know, you cry and cry and cry, and
Right.
then you have to put your face on. And that's why it's important that, you know, we show up as our real self. That's why it's important to be as authentic as possible, obviously within reason. You know, you don't want to walk around naked. That's being authentic, but but you know, but
Or
it's
with your pajamas
or your
at work.
pajamas, at work. I mean, like obviously during COVID, we had our pajamas on downwards and then had the top part, our
Yeah.
cameras off. But on a more serious note, it's important for us to show up as authentic as possible, because some of us are out there and people get the impression that everything is perfect. No, it's not. So I'm so glad you touched on that, Tayo. And really, the topic of today's show is talking about when your inside chatter, your negative chatter, your self chatter tells you you can't, but you do anyway. And I want to sort of unpack that with you. Have you had that sort of situation where, everything, maybe people tell you can't, out external people say you can't, you maybe telling yourself you can't. And I know for me, there has been situations where I just feel that I'm not up to scratch. I'm
Mhm.
not up to scratch. I can't do this. And people might be thinking, oh, Dr. Z, I can't do this. And we have the tendency of sometimes allowing external factors or even our internal emotions to cause us not to move forward, cause us to think that we can't do it. And if you're listening, that might be you. But I want you to hear what Tayo has to say about this. Tayo, over to you.
Okay, thank you. There are a number of angles I can take this, but I want to talk about sometimes I think what happens in our past tends to affect how we respond to opportunities in the future. And I think there was a time in my career where I worked with someone who wasn't a good nurturer, was a good person, but didn't know how to nurture people. And they were dealing with their own personal things. So they were quite negative and would point out things I wasn't doing well. And so I then, and sometimes I was doing them well, but that was that person's opinion. And then I then began to think that I am not good enough. And you don't really realize it when you start to begin to think like that, because you just find yourself not being confident in a meeting, or you feel when you've said something, you start second guessing yourself. So I think even though during that time I got myself coaching, I got myself um, mentorship, but what I didn't realize is that that actually was seeping into some of the things that I was doing. And therefore, when I was asked by the CFO of the organization I work for to take on a non-exec director role, I mentioned it to a coach, but I didn't expect her to do anything about it. And I wasn't going to do anything about it because I felt I've looked at a lot of non-exec director roles and I felt, what have I got to offer? And so I think then I in myself, when I told this person there was this Edinburgh Napier University non-exec director role, and she told me to apply for the role and told me the deadline. So of course I allowed the deadline to pass because I didn't want to apply for it. So she sent me an email and she said, Tayo, we didn't see your application. I said, yeah, deadline's closed. I don't have a current CV. And she said, oh, it's okay. I can extend that for you. Send it to me by Monday. So this was on a Friday, so I think. And then so I had to do my CV up and had to put in the application. But the longest short version story is that I applied. I went for the interview. I knew I would interview well, and I got offered the role. So, and then there was me thinking, oh my God, I tried to talk myself out of it actually when she offered me the role. I said, yeah, I travel a lot and I'm not going to be able to attend the meetings. And then she goes, oh, thank God for COVID. You can do it virtually. I was like, oh, I might not be in the same time zone. She was like, yeah, but it's okay. We'll still make it work. If you can't make it, you can't make it, and you can plan ahead. So I think after she said all that, and then I think what's also important is that sometimes when we have doubts is because we feel we don't have the right skills. And so I went for training with it's a Deloitte run a training for women who want to be board members. And I think that really helped me understand what it means to be a non-exec director for a big organization and some of the things I need to do and how to position myself. And so I went for it and now I'm doing it and I'm enjoying it. This is 1 year on and it's been a fantastic journey. So I think the thing is, when we do go through situations in life, I feel sometimes though that kind of gets us into a place where we doubt ourselves and we feel we can't do it. But I think having the training, talking to people and all that helps and gets you to the place where you say, I can do this. And now I'm loving it. And it was interesting when we had our Christmas party just last week. And the chair said to me, Ty, you guys are the next generation of the non-exec directors for this organization because we're all rolling up and we just really are so happy to have you here.
Yeah, what I love about this story is you've put everything in this, everything. You've talked about, being asked to do it. You've talked about the reasons you gave for not qualifying. It's just like there's a story in one of the biggest not even one of the bestseller of all time. And there's a story about a man, and he was saying, look, it can't be me because I stammer.
Yeah.
It can't be me, I stammer. And the leader said, no, it is you. Just tell them I sent you. But you're not listening to me. I stammer. You've given reasons, I'm really busy. I work really, I travel and all that. And we tend to do that. We give reasons why we are not good enough. Sometimes, and we were talking about this in the green room, about sometimes we compare, and comparison really is a thief of destiny. We compare, we look at other people and say, well, she's doing this, but we don't know the situation of her life. We just see the part that is shown. And I, did a Facebook post, or maybe I did it on LinkedIn. I can't remember, where social media, we're in the time of social media. We're much older and the younger ones are much better, but we're in the time of social media. People see people on, oh my days, look at what this, but it's just a snapshot. It's just a snapshot. The amazing Claudine Reed, MBE, recently having a conversation with her, and she was saying something about she had gone to Jamaica with her husband, and she just finished filming, and the sun was out, and it was glittering on her skin, and she looked amazing. 2 seconds later, without a word of a lie, it started chucking down with rain. But
Wow.
she had already posted that, so people would be sitting down in their front rooms. Oh my days, I wish I could be like Claudine. She's having fun, but her hair was getting wet. She was looking drenched. She was looking, unkempt. And this is what we need to understand, that when we compare ourselves with people, we're comparing with a snapshot of what we see. A snapshot. People see you and they're like, oh, she's a non-executive director, she's this, she's Fortune 5,000, but it's still a snapshot of your life. So I'm really glad that you shared about imposter syndrome, which I'm going to touch on right now, because it just leads so organically into that. And I want you to share with us some tips that we can take away in terms of when that gremlin of negative self chatter, that gremlin of imposter syndrome, that gremlin of I'm not good enough, everyone is better, I don't deserve this kudos. Give us some tips that you think
I would say what works well for me, and I found this by accident. And really and truly, what happened was, as I was mentoring and coaching people, and I talked to them about, and they tell me about how things are not working well for them, and I started telling them to write down their achievements, and I would say, look, write down things that you're great at doing, and I actually, because people that have got a low self-esteem, it's easy for, if I say write down what you're not good at doing, they're going to give me like 100. If I say what you're good at doing, and I always say, give me at least 20 that you're good at doing. What's really great about yourself. And so because I tell people to do that, I started thinking, I need to start writing things down about what I'm good at doing. Because, like, remember, I told you I was with a non-nurturing boss who kind of was telling me what I wasn't doing. And after a while, you begin to doubt yourself.
Yes.
And so I began to write down things that I am really great at doing. And I write it in times of a timeline. This year, this is what I did, this is what I accomplished, this is what I did this year. And I put it in a pictorial form. And when I look at that and I can see what I'm good at doing and I focus on what I'm great at doing, every time I come into a situation and I feel like, oh my God, I can't do this, I remember, how you can do this. You've done it before. Yes. You did it before and you were successful.
Yes.
You've done it before and you're successful. And you pat yourself. And I'm learning now actually to celebrate successes. So I did a review. They did a review of what we do at work. And of course, out of 54 things, the 54 things were really good. I had 4 things that went so good. And I kind of initially was going to focus on the things that went not so good. And then a friend of mine said, Ty, celebrate your success. This is a great result. And so it's reminding ourselves to celebrate what's great, because if we don't, when we get into situations that seem to be bigger than us, then we focus on what that situation is and we forget that actually I've got this, I've done this before, I've done hiking before, I've done, and I share a story that's interesting. So at work they said we're going to do snowshoe walking. I've never done, I'm Black person, I'm African. Only in the UK, we're African. We don't go well, my cousins do.
I've got a story about that, but I'll leave that for another day.
So my cousins do go skiing, but I don't. They don't even need to invite me. So at work, they said we're going snowshoe walking. I thought, okay, can't be something. Must be easy. Must be snow. There's snow on the ground, and we're walking. And then the next thing I knew was like we were cable carrying. We're up to the top of the ski slopes. I was like, oh my God, we're here now. Some people dropped off, but I just thought, well, if people are going to roll down the ski slopes, we'll all roll down together. But because I didn't say no, and I just thought, let's just have some fun. I really enjoyed it. And I'm like,
Yes,
that's a
yes,
tick.
yes,
That's something
yes,
I've never done before. I've
yes,
done it
yes,
now.
yes, yes.
Will
Will
I
you
do
do
it
it
again?
again?
I think I
Probably
will.
not.
Yeah, I think I will.
Oh, good.
And it's
Good.
not so cold at the top,
Mm.
actually. I will do it again because in the beginning you get it's really cold, but after that it's not so cold. But if I hadn't done it, I wouldn't have known that I would do it again.
Yeah,
So that's
I like that.
yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I don't know who you are, beautiful woman, gorgeous woman, wherever you are around the world. I want you to know that that thing that you think that you can't do, that thing, that unexpected, that thing that's taking you out of your comfort zone. I don't know what it is. It could just be maybe updating your CV. It could be perhaps you're a stay at home mom, you're a homemaker, and you've stayed at home because you've decided to look after the kids until they're school age or whatever. And now they've left home and you want to get back into the workforce and you don't know where to start. And you're thinking, I'm never going to make it. Take that first step, take yourself out of your comfort zone, apply for that job. You may not get it, it doesn't matter, but
Yeah.
trust me, it's a numbers game. Having interviewed hundreds of people in my career, trust me, it's a numbers game. So, you have to be in the room to be in the room. So make that first step. Do you update your resume or your CV? And then another point that you made, Tayo, that I need to touch on is when you were talking about going for the non-executive director role, you talked about training.
Yeah.
It's really important. Don't compare yourself with someone else. Compare yourself with an expert. When I say expert, I'm talking about in terms of training. Books, read books, go for training. Some training are paid for, some you can get free online. Because of COVID, there is a wide resource of training all over on LinkedIn and everywhere else. Get the training that you might need. It could be in terms of speaking, it could be in terms of showing up, it could be in terms of confidence, it could be in terms of knitting, it could be in terms of sewing, whatever it is that you want to do. It could be in terms of snow, whatever Tyler
Snowshoe
called
walking.
it. I can't pronounce it, but whatever it is, get the training. You can also speak to someone else. You can speak to me. You can inbox me, inbox Tile, and whoever. Just send me. Even if I don't know how to help you or train you or guide you or coach you, I can signpost you. I'm not too precious. I know, like you hear, this is about everyday women all over the world doing extraordinary things because I know everyday women all over the world. There's,
Yeah.
typically there's no continent I don't know at least 5 people. So I'm sure as we keep progressing with this um, podcast, next week and for years to come, in Jesus' name, there
Amen.
will be someone who can really touch your heart and take you where you need to be. I don't know where that came from, but
That's right.
yeah, I like that. So you said believe in yourself, pat yourself on the back, count your accomplishments. There's We're getting to the end of the year and Christmas is around the corner. And some people, you set goals at the beginning of the year and you're like, oh, I haven't really met my goals. How about this? Write down the things that you have accomplished this year.
That's right.
In with my project, I wear many hats. With my IT project management, project lead, global lead hat, one of the things I like to do is, when you're doing post reviews, I do lessons learned. One of the things I do, I talk about things that we accomplished that we planned for and things that we didn't even think about that we accomplished. And I just want to use that for you. Think about things that you didn't even expect or imagine or even put on your goal plan for
Mm.
this year that you've achieved, because that's an amazing feat. Perhaps you were not planning to lose weight. I mean, that's one that we've been talking about all the time. So that's why I'm not saying you're too fat or overweight. I am, but I'm not saying that you are. But perhaps you saw someone walking and you started walking, and all of a sudden, you're more svelte than you were last year. That's something you didn't plan to do.
Mhm.
Or perhaps you decide you've spoken to your next door neighbor who you didn't realize you have so much in common with. There's so many things that you have achieved, and I'm going back to you, Taya, because I know that I want to make sure that we stretch you and take out as much from you as possible. I can talk till next year, but this is for you. Go ahead. Some other tips that you think that will really help women, everyday women like yourself and myself, to get on that bandwagon of doing extraordinary things. And extraordinary is relative.
Exactly. I think is one of the things is the having the desire to want to do it. And also extraordinary is relative as well. One of the things that I do is I say to myself, every year I have to do something new and I have to go somewhere I've never been before. And traveling may not be for everyone, right? But I love to travel. I have to go to a country I haven't been before and a city I haven't been before. And also I would say I need to do something I haven't done before. And it might be knitting. And or it could be just skipping. It could be learning to cook a new dish. It could be saying I'm going to talk to my neighbor. I haven't spoken to my neighbor before. But I think it's finding something that's of interest. Someone that I work with, a colleague of mine, she did an extraordinary thing, and it's something small. She just felt, I don't have a, I'm looking for books for.
Do you want some more?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So she was looking for a book for black that's got black women leaders, and she couldn't find any. And she just wrote a 50-page book for her daughters, full of pictures, but she published it. And something as simple as that. So think about for yourself, what are you going to do that's going to keep you, that's going to, besides you being a mother or a wife or a sister or a daughter, for you that you can do. It could just be learning how to color your hair yourself. But think about that one thing and just and then just do it. And if you think about it, sometimes I've had on my list, and Dr. Z will tell you I'm writing a book. I haven't written the book, but at least I've got the outline of the book. And so just take that one step at a time, and don't, for us as women, I think sometimes when we don't achieve something, we kind of we kind of beat ourselves hard. Just say, okay, I didn't do it this year. Maybe perhaps I'll do it next year, and get yourself an accountability partner. But I think the most important thing is just do something, no matter how small it is, that you think you could do. It could be helping your GP practice, for example, take service, anything that you think is important, that you think is important to you, will get you happy. It could be buying a dog, buying a pet, getting a pet. It could be that. But look for something that you enjoy, that's going to make you feel, oh my God, I did something great.
Yes, I like that. And, we're just about to go, but I just want to know how, you said that you mentor, and I know that you mentor a lot of people. If people want to reach out to you, where can they find you?
They can find me on my LinkedIn page. And yes, and it's Taya Oyinlola on LinkedIn.
All right. So what I'll do, I'll share that when I share this as a replay. But you heard it from the horse. No, she's not a horse. From the gorgeous woman's mouth. You can see her, Taya Oyinlola, on LinkedIn. And any final words before we go out? Do you sing? I asked Lisa Marie last week to sing. Can you sing?
Can I sing? I can't sing. I can
all right, sing. So we won't pour on you.
I can't sing, but I can sing everyone out. Yeah.
All right. All right. Sing us out.
The one thing I love to do, I love dancing, and I could dance all night, but we can't be dancing. There's no music for me to dance now. We can do the dance with the music. Yeah.
Well, now that I know, when I bring you back, I'm gonna start with music so that you can dance.
Yes, I can dance in. Yeah. I do sing, but I'm not like Lisa. Lisa's like fabulous singer.
Oh, thank you so much, Tayo. It's been amazing. Time really goes quickly when we're having fun.
Is it that time yet? Oh, yes, it is time.
Yes, I know.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Z. It's been
thank you so much.
Amazing. I really appreciate that. Thanks everyone for joining, and tune in next week to something extraordinary, and listen to everyday women doing extraordinary things. And I think as we listen, we learn things. I mean, I learned from last week's program as well, and because I also do speak, and I've never asked for money before. I just bring it on, like multiple streams of income. I need to think, what's your budget?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Taya. You've been an absolute gem, a star. And I will be speaking to you in the green room.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you've had a lovely time. Thank you. God bless you.
Bye.
Please share with all your family and friends, and we will see you again next week at the same time for a cup of tea with Dr. Z. Wow, that was really lovely and hot. Lovely tea. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.